My fiancé just cancelled our wedding last night. Where should I go from here? We're serious about each other and talk about marriage, kids, retirement, etc. Been together about 4 years total. I'm stuck in what I can do to help him. He's gotten progressively worse over time. He drinks 4, 5, 6 cans of beer a day, smokes weed multiple times, not during the workday thank goodness, and consumes 2 cans of nicotine pouches every 2 days. On top of this, his family and specifically his dad are seriously heavy drinkers too. Any activity worth doing always has beer attached to it, regardless of the circumstance. I'm afraid what this behavior is going to look like 20 or 30 years down the road when we're neck deep in our marriage commitments, house, kids, and everything. Money situation is okay, which is part of the problem, as he uses this for an excuse that since we're not struggling, why throttle down at all? We're going to a therapist who has also expressed their concerns with his habits, but to my partner, it seems like white noise. He says he wants to quit abusing his body. I've heard him say he uses these things when he's bored, angry, upset, or wants to decompress. On the other hand, he said, I'm healthy or I just want to enjoy myself. I don't like spending time or being sexual when he's really had a lot. His personality gets dull to the point he's just on the couch where lights are on but no one is home. I absolutely want to help him and be the best partner I can be. I've been too critical in the past of this, so it's a sore subject to bring up. TLDR. Boyfriend consumes a large amount of weed, alcohol and nicotine to function every day. Therapist agrees that he needs to slow down since he's already predisposed to abusing substances from family linkage. Hoping to know how to help him. First update. When we initially met in 2019, he was able to go to work and socialize with all of his coworkers. He's a wonderful human being and loves talking with other peers/friends/family. But for my work, we had to move to a neighboring state and he wanted to work from home to both keep the job he loves and still maintain our financial status. Fast forward to now and he's been working from home for 2 years. I've never worked from home and have always been required to show up at the job site. So when he talks about how hard working from home is for him, I really don't know how to help. He speaks about not being able to leave work since our apartment is so small. The isolation is horrible with only seeing people through a screen and that he feels lonely from being the only person at our apartment, day after day for 8 to 10 hours. When we moved states, we left our family behind and wanted to make friends as much as we could. So far, he's met a few nice guys playing disc golf and I try to meet with a hiking group a few times a week. But even still, I really want to help him. He does an amazing job at communicating his needs. I've just seen this routine really start to grind down on his energy and spirit if I'm being honest. We have 7 months left and our lease will be up. In the meantime, what are the things that help for people who work from home? TLDR. Partner is struggling with working from home and I'm worried about his emotional well-being. Second update. I don't know what to say. He told me he wasn't sure if he wanted to marry someone who he can't communicate with. He said I don't treat him or talk to him the way he wants to be treated. We've had a lot of ups and downs in our relationship. We fight often but about things that are small or sometimes misinterpreted. However, we have a habit of fighting about one thing, then something else that pissed us off, then another, to the point we are fighting for 2 or 3 hours. We broke up 2 years ago and had about 9 months of a break. I was the one who asked him to leave. I had been going through medical issues and was bitchy to say the least, so I said things I regret now. We reconciled and decided we are better together. Fast forward to 50 days before our wedding, he's reconsidering. I've been an asshole in the past. I come across as mothering, nagging, and I don't say things the right way, coming off too rough. We don't have any intimacy anymore besides right before my period when my hormones are up. We don't spend time together and argue so much. I really want to work it out and I want to fight for us. But as I sit in front of him, crying with my head in my hands, he's turning to his computer where he was sitting, and continues playing PC games without a missed beat, like he could give a flying fuck. I went into our bedroom, which is 10 feet away, and sobbed, because someone getting married in less than 2 months shouldn't be anywhere near this. I'm a mess. I feel distraught and feel so alone. Third update. I guess I'm writing here because I'm not sure where to go. I've been able to handle heavy breakups before but nothing compared to this. I have opened my life to him and I now must take of not only informing guests, vendors and family of what has occurred, but then proceed mourning the loss of him in our shared apartment. He and I have been fighting over the last year. We have 2 very different communication styles where I hear A but he's talking about B. He has expressed before that these issues affect him and that we take mental tolls on each other without replenishing the emotional debt of it. So we will argue, become emotional, and move on to the next day. Even writing this, I know the problem and no, this is not a healthy way 2 grown-ass adults should talk about problems. But despite therapy and 4 years of off and on trying to harmonize with each other, he pulled the plug. I felt like I was going to throw up after he said it. I should say I'm not angry at him. I don't wish anything bad for his happiness as truly, I just want him happy, whatever that looks like. He deserves to be happy. However, this heavy weight of dissolving our life from the wedding down to our daily lives feels like a reality I wish I could drug myself to not feel. I sat on my kitchen floor last night after the emotional conversation was over. I called my mom and sobbed with everything I had in me as I realized my ex-future husband was leaving. I woke up this morning feeling slightly better. But now, it's like, where the fuck do I go from here? TLDR. My fiancé broke it off with me last night and I'm wondering where I should go from here. Fourth update. So in short, my fiancé ended our relationship and cancelled our wedding. He told me on Sunday and left the following Wednesday while I was at work. Did not say goodbye. He parting words the night before he left was he felt like we fight too much and do not communicate well. Okay. This was not new, and while I knew he felt that we fought a lot, I didn't know he was ready to leave me. Settling all the wedding contracts, dealing with the honeymoon debt, being left with no car, and finally, taking on all the apartment expenses was left to me. I became crippled with depression, and in order to take some control back, I posted on Facebook that I need help finding a couple to take our date since the venue was withholding our total rental amount. I mentioned I was heartbroken, that I needed a couple and how to get a hold of the venue. Well, 200 plus shares later, my ex's mom steps into the picture. After seeing the hundreds of comments saying I'm better off, to sue him, etc., she finally sent me a text, 1 week after she helped move him out. She goes, I know you are upset and your feelings are hurt, but there are two sides to this story, and I don't appreciate these posts of you or other people slandering on my son when they don't know the whole story and you putting his full name out there. There are laws for slander and defamation of character. He helped pay for all of this wedding stuff too. Not just you. Hell, we even have helped pay for wedding stuff. This is something you and he need to work out, but if this continues I will step up and defend my son. Please be more respectful. My reply, ex-mother-in-law, this is between X and I. I understand you're feeling protective, but it is none of your business. Please keep your opinions to yourself. He is welcome to call me. Wow, thank you for showing your true colors. I'm grateful he isn't marrying you. He deserves so much better. Me, okay, I had felt like she just rubbed salt in the deepest wound I had. I have been unreasonable in our relationship, never passing boundaries like cheating or lying, gambling, etc. But I have been mean and controlling, and I wonder if in this conversation, I took the boundary line too far. I know her son means the most to her. Comments. Commenter 1. I'm ready to get downvoted to oblivion here, but something about this doesn't seem right. Op admits her and fiancé have been fighting a lot. Does not give detail about these fights, what they're about, who started them. Op admits to being mean and controlling, but doesn't explain what this entails. Op chose to make a public post, which means that this is no longer a private matter. I'd like to know what Op actually said in the Facebook posts. It's clear she included the full name of the person X, something which is unnecessary, and this makes me wonder if she fully dragged him in the post. The fact that the ex left while Op was out and has had no contact suggests to me that the ex was afraid. This is the advice we often recommend to women who are trying to escape abusive relationships. We don't even know if X asked mother-in-law to reach out. But to me, this feels like another case of X being too scared to say anything. Op, can you please give more details regarding the above? Commenter 2. Missing reasons abound. Commenter 3. Even without anything missing, it's clear from this post that her ex made the right call for both of them. They fought all the time for hours, had no intimacy. Why were they getting married? So Op should be respectful enough to not talk about it online and work out the financial details directly with him. Commenter 4. Yeah, it's pretty clear Op was trying to throw a pity party and get a bunch of sympathy from people online. That's the most half-hearted effort to actually find someone to take their slot, and was very obviously just venting and complaining, but pretending not to be. She got called out on it by someone who knows them both and the real story, then came here looking for more validation. I'm glad it's backfiring. A personal relationship didn't work out. Why does the world need to know any details, which are being spun and changed so she's not a bad guy at all? Sorry, it didn't work. Op replies, to answer your concerns, the fights were about the typical things like money or that we don't feel the other understands each other or how someone did something the other didn't agree with. Mean and controlling is my way of saying I'm fucked up too, and this post isn't to make me look like I'm a saint. I have been controlling about how much alcohol he drinks because I didn't like seeing a pack gone a day as an example. A public post I made said in short, I am heartbroken. My wedding is cancelled. This is the date. These are the details why I like the venue and how much. I did not write his name in the post, but someone commented it. He could have been afraid, I'm not sure. I had forecasted that he felt that was easier than while I was here. And I'm not certain on the last one. Here is the actual FB post without essential info. I need help. So bad right now. My heart is just ripped to shreds. My fiancé broke our engagement, thereby canceling the wedding. And I'm just knee-deep in awful shit. But I wanted to try anything I can. If there is a couple who would like an amazingly wonderful and adorable barn-in location. We had planned our wedding on October 12, 2024. They allow you set up all day on Friday, Saturday and Sunday with up to 120 guests to seat. They allow outside alcohol and have a full kitchen, and they keep a fully stocked decor room. If not a wedding, they also allow parties or family reunions as well. I love the venue and its owners. They are looking to rebook for me so I can get my payment back and help offset the debt burden I now have alone. Their venue is called Name. It's $3,400. Commenter 5. BF works from home and felt secluded and didn't like it. They both paid everything as they planned. BF went to her with his issues and said he didn't really want to get married anymore. She ignored until he actually called it off. Then he left and she went looking for sympathy. She also had an eating disorder and was trying to work it out, so she probably ignored the relationship for that, but I don't know that for sure.